Hi, welcome to VideoMathLessons.com. This is an Algebra 2 and Trigonometry quick lesson, lesson number 4, quadratics, especially the quadratic formula. So let's jump right into this. Now the first thing is we need to know what is the quadratic formula. So it's a formula you need to have memorized, and the formula goes like this. X equals negative b plus minus square root b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, the a, b, and c come from the general quadratic, ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. And we're going to get these values. So what you have to know is that it has to be set to 0. And this problem's already set up. So when we look at this problem, it's a equals 1, b equals negative 4, and c equals 9. Now, when do you use the quadratic formula? Well, the quadratic formula is good when you can't factor or you don't know how to factor, or when completing the square is a little too tricky. So this is when we're going to use this formula. Now, this formula, I can't factor 9 to make a 4, so this has to be a quadratic formula. I could do this problem by completing the square, but that's another video. So here we go. Just plug in x equals negative b, so it's negative 4 plus minus square root b squared. Now I'm going to put the negative 4, especially this is tricky, you put that in parentheses, minus 4 times 1 times 9. The whole thing over 2 times 1. Now I'm just going to use my calculator. I'm going to punch this in the calculator. One shot on the calculator, the inside, not the radical part. I'm going to leave the radical. So I'll take care of this first. Negative 4 is positive 4 plus minus square root, I'm going to do that right now, over 2. So we grab the calculator and let's punch it in. Use the parentheses, especially for the negative. And we hit enter, and I get a negative 20. Now, when you do this in pieces, people screw it up because they try to do it in pieces and they mess up. So I would just do that inside one shot. Now, I got to break down 20. So 4 plus minus, now what's perfect in 20? 4 is perfect, left over 5. Well, I'm going to put the negative with the 4. So what I get is 4 plus minus, don't forget this whole thing is over 2, plus minus square root of negative 4 is 2i rad 5 over 2. And when I divide, I look for the triangle. And if I got that triangle, I can do it. So I'm going to break this apart. So 4 divided by 2 is 2, plus minus 2 over 2 is 1, I rad 5. Let's try another one. All right, now this time it's y's. Well, instead of x's, it's just y, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to still use the same formula, so I'm actually going to write down my quadratic. X equals negative b plus and minus the square root. Now this one's not set, so now instead of x, it's just going to be called y's. I have to move the 9 over. So this is going to be y squared minus 3y minus 9 equals 0. And then we're going to do it. So now I have a is 1, b is negative 3, c is negative 9. And we're just going to put it in the formula. So x equals negative 3 plus minus square root and I'm going to punch that all in the calculator, inside the guts, one shot, 2 times 1. So parenthesis, negative 3 close square minus 4 times 1. Oops, I can use parentheses. I could use times, but it doesn't matter. But I'm going to try to just be consistent. Negative 9. And I hit enter, and I get a 45 on the inside. So this is negative 3 is positive 3 plus minus rad 45 over 2. Now I got to break down that 45. Well, inside of 45 is 9 and 5. 9 times 5 squared minus 3, so I get 3 rad 5. And I do 3 plus minus 3 rad 5 over 2. This doesn't break down the triangle pattern, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And instead of x's, it's really just y equals. Let's go. Let's try a harder one. And this one's harder because it has a lead coefficient in the front here, right? It's got that 2. So now when I look at this, it's set to 0, right? So that's good. So a equals 2. And let's just fix that. A equals 2. B equals 7. C equals negative 3. Okay, now write down the formula. And you just got to memorize this formula. And we're going to punch in. Be careful, A is 2 this time. So a lot of times it's 1, but now you got to watch it. So it's negative 7 plus minus radical 7 squared minus 4 times 2 times negative 3 all over 2 times 2. Okay. Now once again, we'll punch this in the calculator. So 7 squared and I get 73. So it's negative 7 plus minus radical 73 over 4. Now, I could try to break this down. It doesn't break down, so it is what it is. So this is just some irrational roots, and that's it. That's it. Thanks for watching. If you need any more help, there's more lessons on the website. So have a nice night. Thanks. Bye.